Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another themed reading vlog. I'm really excited to be doing these more often on my channel and have quite a few planned out for the coming months. If you're new here, hello, my name is Emily. This is MacInnis Mama, where you will find mostly bookish content with the occasional gardening video thrown in here and there. If that's something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel before you leave. I was inspired to do today's reading vlog because I was seeing a lot of people I follow getting really excited for fall and the cooler months, pumpkin spice, Halloween, and while fall is my favorite season, I really want to hold on to summer for a little bit longer. Where I live, school doesn't start for another month into September, and everyone just seems so excited for summer to be over, but I just am not. Hi. Domino is my filming partner. I have 3 summer romances I am going to read in this vlog just to still hold on to summer a little bit longer before we get into more spooky reads, and these were the 3 that I chose. After looking at them, I realized 2 of them are bookish, but that is fine. So the books that we're going to be reading in this reading vlog is Beach Read by Emily Henry, Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is the second. This book follows the events of It Happened One Summer. This is the sequel or companion to that, which I did read It Happened One Summer and really loved that last year. And then the second bookish book, which I didn't realize, another summery romance involving authors. This is The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. I've seen a lot of great things about this book on Instagram. I will give more thorough synopsises when I'm actually reading each book, but just know that this is a romance about authors and books, and so is Beach Read, and then Hook, Line, and Sinker is like rom-com, small town vibes. But to kick off this vlog, I have started Beach Read by Emily Henry. In this book, you're following January Andrews, and she is a pretty successful published author, but she has had writer block for over a year, and her publisher is kind of like knocking on her door saying, where is this next book that you promised us? She writes happily ever after romance, women's fiction type of books, but she's been going through a lot. And then she heads to a lake house and comes in contact with another author who also seems to have a writer's block, and a romance ensues from there. I am currently 72 pages into this book. I just picked it up. I can actually insert a picture. I picked this up for one of the Magical Readathon prompts of start a book with a drink. So I started reading this while having a Mike's Hard Lemonade on a really hot evening, and that was really fun to do. So far, again, just 72 pages in, it's still very early on of like dipping our toes in. I am really enjoying this. I really enjoy the banter between January and Gus, or Augustus Everett is his name. They have like, I don't know. They're kind of both grumpy right now. Like I thought it would be more like a Grumpy Sunshine situation, but that's not really what I'm getting so far. I will check in around the halfway point with more thoughts, but just my initial thoughts, I am really liking it. I like their banter, and I like Emily Henry's writing style so far, which this is my first Emily Henry book, and I'm really excited to dive into this more. So just a brief intro and initial check-in. Yes, I have picked up Beach Read first, and so far I'm enjoying it. Hold tight. Get your bum back up there. I see, you're being silly. Hold on tight. Ah!
Hi guys.
Hold on. Hey guys, it is time for a check-in. It's a rainy day, so I have lion-like hair. What is happening up here? These little curls. Okay. Excuse my appearance. So, I'm now on page 167 of 361. So about the halfway point, which is where I wanted to check in. I'm at the end of a chapter about to start chapter 15. So I just thought this was a good place to pause and fill you guys in. I now have a greater understanding of the synopsis that I can share with you, because I was pretty unsure going into it, because I don't like reading the full synopsis on the back. I go off of other people's reviews and recommendations. Sorry, the window is open if you can hear some traffic sounds. So we are following January Andrews and Augustus Everett. These two are both authors and rivals since college. They both seem to be struggling with some sort of writer's block. They're both published authors, so their publishers are kind of breathing down their necks for their next read, and their readers, of course, want to buy the next book, but they are both struggling. So when they meet, they challenge each other to write the other's genre. I thought they were writing each other's books, like their works in progress, but I was mistaken. So Augustus is a darker literary fiction type of author. There's usually like a mystery involved, lots of character development, that sort of thing. A type of writing that involves a lot of research. And January is a romance, women's fiction, happily ever after type author. So very different writing styles, and I imagine it would be a challenge to switch genres like that, but that is what they're attempting to do. So far there's not really romance or space. It says a breath of fresh air, steamy, smart, and perceptive by Josie Silver, like a quote on the front. And so far I'm not finding it to be steamy, but I really love the banter between Augustus and January so far. I like some humor and snarky banter a little bit. They're not really like enemies, but they're both kind of sassy. They're both a little moody, and I'm really liking it. And I had some people mention that Emily Henry's writing style is like a love it or hate it kind of thing. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. I'm not necessarily getting like 5-star vibes, but definitely like a solid 4-star right now. I'm excited to keep reading. It's very fast to get through. I'm always surprised every time I pick up a romance, which I have been doing more lately, but at how fast I'm turning the pages versus an adult fantasy, which is what I would say is like my typical genre, but more and more I'm dipping my toes into like thrillers and romance, and I'm having a great time. And it's cooled off, but today, and I haven't read any of this yet today, but leading up to today for the last week or so, we've been in a mega heat wave, and reading something like this has been fun. Again, I just want to linger in my summer feels a little bit longer before diving into the back to school, hectic fall, pumpkin spice kind of time. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've read this, if you enjoyed it, what are your thoughts on this book, and I will check in with you when I have finished it. I have now surpassed the 200-page mark, and you know what I realized? For a book named Beach Read and the cover that it has, there's a significant lack of beach. Towards the beginning, there was like just the smallest beach mention, besides that they're in beach houses. But I thought the setting would be more vacation-y, but it's not. This is a very strange check-in. I'm still very much enjoying my time reading it. I just had kind of an epiphany of how unsummery this book is seeming so far. So I feel like this could take you into fall, or really to read any time of year. So this is not very summery for this end of summer romance vlog, but I'm still having a great time. Hey guys, checking in. I just finished Beach Read. This book made me laugh. It made me cry. I loved it. I did give it a 4+ stars. It wasn't really feeling like a 5-star, but I still really loved it a lot, and I'm happy that I own this. The letters in like the 300, basically from like 300 on, well, until the very end, I was crying, like tears just rolling down my face. I'm a very emotional person. I cry a lot. And yeah, this definitely had the tears flowing. I think that January and Gus's romance is just so good. I wish we got more from the mom's point of view, and also a little more like wrapped up with, I don't want to spoil anything. Another woman that's in this story. I think if you read it, you know what I mean. But overall, I was really happy with the ending. I liked it a lot. I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say. I've told you what it's about. I told you I loved the banter. It made me cry, but not in a like emotional damage, I'm never going to recover kind of way. But it did definitely make me sad in some parts. And wow, this is going to make me cry. Just like a reminder maybe to like go visit your dad. Whew. Yes. Okay, setting that down. So next I am going to read Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I was considering, because I thoroughly enjoyed reading a summary book about authors, I think I'm going to really enjoy reading more bookish books, and I definitely want to do that. And the third book for this video is The Roughest Draft, which is also a summertime romance with authors, but I'm thinking that might be too similar. The plots aren't similar. I don't think the characters are going to be that similar, but just, you know, that bookish author romance vibe. So I'm going to break it up with Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is a library hardcover, so it's super shiny. This is the second book following It Happened One Summer. I did give that book 5 stars. I absolutely loved them. And this is following Fox and Hannah, yes, which is Piper's sister from the first book. And this is a friends to lovers. They bond over music. Fox is this like, I don't know how to hold this. Okay. Like fuckboy in the first book, I guess. So I'm not sure how Hannah's gonna magically get him to settle down, but I'm sure that is what's going to happen. This is a rom-com. This one I wouldn't really call a rom-com. I really do like rom-coms, but this is more like adult romance. And these have more of the funny vibes, I think. I really do like Tessa Bailey. I know she's hit and miss. I've read It Happened One Summer, gave it 5 stars, and Fix Her Up, which I gave 4 or 5 stars. Really enjoyed both of those. Once again, I will check in. How many pages is this book? That's It Happened One Summer. Why is there an excerpt of that? That's interesting. Where are we? Why would there be a sneak peek of the first few chapters of It Happened One Summer in the back of the sequel? That is very strange to me. So anyways, 353 pages for Hook, Line, and Sinker. So I will probably check in around the 100, 150 page mark again and give you a more thorough synopsis of what this book is about and how my initial feelings on it.
We drove our car here.
Do we have MacInnis?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Moment.
She is okay. I got the date for
Dad, watch.
silly.
I thought that car was a Ford without even looking at it.
Bad.
Well, looking at the kind
Bad.
of car it is. I just looked at the car.
Hey.
I didn't say what kind of
Hey.
car, and then I went,
Hey.
Ford.
Mom, these are breakable.
Hey guys, finally checking in again for this Holding On to Summer Romance reading vlog. I have started Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey, and this was pitched as a friends to lovers story between Fox and Hannah, which we do meet these characters in the first book, and they share a love for music, and that's kind of how their friendship has formed over the last year. And I saw some reviews of people saying they were really disappointed with how they didn't really seem like true platonic friends to lovers, which is what they were expecting. However, I'm now 102 pages in. I'm about to start chapter 8, and I do totally understand where they're coming from, and that is true. However, I am viewing this as you need to read It Happened One Summer first. That's the first in the series. And I kind of see their relationship starting in that book as platonic friends. And certain things happen in It Happened One Summer, which already kind of start to turn the wheels towards a romance, if that makes sense. And I think that's why a spin-off book was then made. I don't know if this was always intended to be a duet. I have no idea. But we're already seeing some very small things happening in It Happened One Summer. And then we're still seeing those wheels turning very slowly so far in Hook, Line, and Sinker. I hope that makes sense. So they are still friends where I'm at. Nothing has really happened. They're kind of arguing over a fake dating situation because Hannah has a crush on her boss, I guess. And she talks about that in the first book too, and that's still present in this book. And she is staying with Fox, so they're roommates right now because Hannah works for a movie production type of company, and she's convinced them to head to Westport. She lives in LA, but she has convinced them to film this next movie in Westport because she misses her sister, misses the small seaside town and all of the grumpy fishermen, and her friend Fox is there, things like that. But her boss is there in Westport too, who she has the crush on. And Fox is a playboy, like a womanizer kind of character, and that he's kind of really taken on that persona because that's what everyone else thinks of him. People don't take him seriously because he's always just, you know, up for a good time type of thing, and he doesn't want to soil Hannah's reputation by agreeing to fake date. She says, we're already friends, what's the big deal type of thing. That's kind of where I'm at now. So that she wants to make her boss jealous with Fox, and he doesn't want to do that because I think Fox is a little bit of a softie on the inside, and I am excited to see how, like, we know that this is a romance book. We know that these two must end up together. I just don't know the journey to get there. That's the whole point of a romance book, right? Like, you know that the two main characters are going to end up together. You just don't know how. You don't know what's going to happen. And I am excited to see that unfold. And there's already like just a small undercurrent of tension happening, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to check in with you guys in, I don't know, like another 120 pages or so. I think this is about 350 pages. So if I'm around the 225-ish mark, I don't know where the chapter will end. I will give you an update and then wrap it up after that. Do you guys like one check-in or two? In a few of my past reading vlogs, I would check in at around the halfway point. But I'm liking this, like checking in at the 100-page mark and giving you like a more thorough synopsis, because I feel like if it happens in the first couple of chapters, it's not really a spoiler. Ready, baby?
I was like right in the center of that.
Watch out, Emmett. Mommy's not very good. I don't want to hit you.
Emmett, come here. Come ride on your bike.
Watch out. Can you come behind?
Nice.
Ready? Okay, ready?
Nice try, Emmett.
Hello, you guys. It's time to check in with Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. We are on the swing set. I'm just trying to get through the day, and I'm past where I said I wanted to be to check in, and I want to keep reading. So this is the kind of check-in we're doing this time. We'll try and swing around here. I am on page 237, about to start chapter 18. Give Emmett a little push over here. And I do have some thoughts. So I do love that we're still seeing, or we were still seeing, a little bit of Piper and Brendan together, because they were the couple in the first book. Since I wrote that on my note, shortly after updating you around the 100-ish page mark, we're seeing nothing of them really, but that's all right. There was one quote I wanted to share which kind of really speaks to Fox as a character. I mentioned that he's seen as a playboy, a womanizer, something like that. And he said, well, he's thinking, it's easier to give them what they want. Laugh with them instead of being laughed at. Make the joke instead of being the joke. And above all else, don't let them see how much it bothers him. And so he is this playboy womanizer type character, but is he really in his heart is kind of where we're going with that. What's going to prevent this from being like a 5-star or anything from me? It's feeling like 4-star, 3.5-star, 4-star right now, which is still really good for me. It wouldn't be a 5-star at all because I am not like a big music buff. I love music. I listen to the radio all the time. But when they are like, how is your day going? And then she says like a song title and he totally gets it. He's like, oh yes, like the vibes of the music, right? I don't know all these songs. So, I mean, I guess I could look them up to understand, but like, do I really want to pause my reading to listen to a song and try and understand the vibe of the situation? Like, I think it would hit more if you just like knew what that song was, if that makes sense. Overall, like I said, I am still really enjoying it. Reading this, I have a constant smile on my face. Like, I love this style of like rom-com, and that's all I've read from Tessa Bailey so far. I read Fix Her Up, It Happened One Summer, and now this one, and they all had that like funny, I have like, something is making my face itch. I love that like rom-com funny type of romance. I don't know. I'm just smiling. I'm laughing. I love the banter still. Same thoughts as before. I'm going to try not to repeat myself. I still have, you know, a little ways to go, this much, and I will check in with you when I finish it, and then we'll have to read the third and final book for this vlog. I would have loved for this video to go up in August, but technically fall doesn't start until the end of September. I don't know, you don't want to hear that, but technically. So we're holding on to summer with 2 hands, and I'm gonna finish this, and I'm excited for the third book as well. Let's see if we can finish this vlog this week. Can we do it? I hope so. Hey guys, I just finished Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I think I'm gonna go with like a 3.5 star on this one. I just didn't have the same feeling as It Happened One Summer. I didn't connect with these 2 characters as much as Piper and Brendan. And the third act conflict in this was really like just at the very, very end. And it just seemed too much. And the epilogue was just so cute. I feel like I've said everything I need to say. I just didn't love these 2 as much, but it was still a really fun, summery read. And I would definitely recommend it if you like that sort of thing. The spice was really great. It was slower than some other romance books I've read recently.
Do you know those fins that have skinny fins by the ears? I called it Dilophosaurus.
Oh.
He said that in the video.
Something about Jurassic Park and dinosaurs. Yeah, like I said, I think I've said everything I need to say about this book. It was really good, 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed my time reading it, but at the same time, I'm happy it's done. I don't know if that makes sense. The epilogue was absolutely adorable though, which again, I've already said, what is up with me? So last book that I'm reading for this vlog, I am trying to get this vlog up for you guys. This is The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley. Another bookish romance between 2 authors. These 2 co-wrote a book and were the brightest literary stars on the horizon. They wrote really great books together. Something happened in both their professional and personal lives, and they went their separate ways. However, I think they had a contract and are like obligated to give their publishing house another great book, so they need to reunite and write that book, and it's an adult romance, so I'm assuming that they have a romance together. I don't know, that would make sense to me. Again, how many pages? About 300. So I think with this one I am just going to check in once around like between 100, 150 pages, give you a better synopsis, what's going on, how I'm feeling. And then when I finish this book, I also have the audiobook for this out from my library, so hopefully that will help me pick up the pace. My hair is falling out everywhere. I did just finish my workout too, so if I'm a little sweaty, I apologize. And is this a new release? January 2022. I did not know that this was a new release, and this was a 2022 release as well. Wow, maybe, yeah, 2022. Maybe I should have read Book Lovers by Emily Henry instead of Beach Read. Speaking of Beach Read, okay, this was like a complete side note. I've actually read Beach Read quite a long time at this point that I'm filming. It got me thinking there is like a cult aspect to that book. And now that summer is ending, one moment please, and we're coming up on spooky season, I was thinking maybe I could read a couple books that are cult themed. That could be fun. That was a really interesting aspect of that book, though it was a romance, so it really didn't get like too dark. Let me know what you think of that. Would you like a reading vlog where I read cult themed books? I thought that would be fun. Anyways, off I go to read the roughest draft. Hey guys, I'm now over 100 pages into the roughest draft. You guys are a little high. Okay. I'm liking it, but I'm not fully invested yet. Like, I'm a third of the way through the book. Why is my eye twitching? And I don't feel like attached to any of the characters yet. This is much more traditional adult contemporary romance than the other ones, than Hook, Line, and Sinker was. That was definitely more of a rom-com, more of a funny element. This one is dual timeline and dual POV, and the dual timeline is a bit jarring, but I think it's supposed to be. The characters just act so differently together in the past than they do with the present. That is the point. We are following Nathan and Katrina, and they were a writing duo, and they sold 2 books together, and their publisher wanted another one, like it's in their contract, but something happened and they haven't spoken for years. But now their publisher is like, no, I don't want anything from you guys individually as authors. I need the 3rd book you have a contract for, and we need it soon. So you guys need to go write it, basically. And we don't know what's happening. I'm sure we're working up to that, and that's going to be like the twist or reveal or whatever. It's hinting at like that it was quite explosive, and obviously it was enough for them to completely separate their lives for 4 years, didn't speak to each other, didn't even attend like promotional events for their 2nd book together. They did everything individually. But I don't know. It's feeling like a good book, a fine book, if that makes any sense. Maybe I'll be surprised. I looked on Goodreads. Sorry, I'm doing dishes, about to cook supper. My computer's open because I'm trying to work a little as well, so it's a disaster behind me. I'll hold the book up to block that. I had a peek on Goodreads because sometimes if I'm feeling a little like unsure, I guess, on a book, I will just skim some Goodreads reviews from people I follow or I'm friends with on Goodreads. Not like read their reviews, but like see their star ratings. And they are all over the place. Like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-star reads from people I follow. Like literally all over the board. And I don't know. Am I missing something? I am listening to this on audiobook on 2x speed. Is that affecting my enjoyment? I didn't think so. Like, I'm able to pay attention. The narrators are really good. It's 2 narrators, one for Katrina's POV, a woman narrator and a male narrator for Nathan's POV, and that's going really well. I'm only listening to it when I can have my full attention, so like I don't know what I'm missing. There's been like no major conflict yet. It's just kind of slice of life almost at this point, which isn't exactly what I was expecting. Sorry for this like non-update update. At least I can for sure tell you what the book is about. And I don't know. If you guys read this book, let me know how you liked it. I can't read the top part of the blurb as a something blah 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 darlings until they hit a plot hole that turned their lives upside down. I don't know, guys. I'll finish this probably tomorrow and give you my final thoughts, but right now it's like a 3-star, I guess, because I'm liking it but not loving it, but there's nothing wrong with it for me to give it lower than that. I saw one review that said 1 star and it said the roughest draft indeed, and I laughed so hard, but that's besides the point. Okay, off I go. Hello, excuse my sweaty appearance. I just did a evening workout, yes, with my makeup on. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Okay, I've only read like 15 more pages since I last checked in with you, like 2 more chapters, but I finally was able to like pinpoint part of my issue with the dual timelines and finding them being kind of jarring, but also not differing enough except for in how our 2 main characters are treating each other. And it's because what like the setting and everything they're doing is the same. They're in the same house in Florida. This is what Emmett is reading, right? It's because they're in the same house in Florida, co-authoring their 3rd book versus their 2nd book. Their 2nd book, there's like healthy banter back and forth. Like working through their writing process is a little bit different in the different timelines, because in one they're getting along and the other they are you all right? And in the other one they're not, but they're writing a book. They're in the same house, in the same state, buddy. They're going to the coffee shop, they're ordering takeout, they're meeting with the same friends in both timelines. And I think that's why it's not working for me when I typically do like dual timelines and multi POVs. But this is like the same, but the difference lies in how they're treating each other. I hope that makes sense. All right, you guys, I have officially, like literally just now, finished the roughest draft. I contemplated like sitting with it a little bit before giving you guys my final update, but honestly, I'm just ready to be done with this vlog. I think I'm going to give this 3 stars. I really did enjoy it. It was a good time, but it took me quite a long time to get through it, for it only being like a 300-page book. Like, it was good. If it sounds interesting to you, I think you could pick it up and try it out. But the dual timelines didn't entirely work for me because of all the reasons I've already said. And it just like continued being so through the entire book. So it's not a favorite. And honestly, with the whole theming of this vlog being like holding on to summer with 2 hands, 3/4 way through this book I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel fall vibes. We came into September around that point, and the book ends at the beginning of fall in New York, where, you know, it's starting to get a little bit more crisp in the air, putting on a sweater, and that just feels so perfect to me as well, because I did get my 3 summery romances in at the end of summer. I'm very happy I did that, and now I am ready for darker romance, some spooky books, some adult fantasy, and that is just perfect timing. Now, I'm sad to say that the books in this vlog kind of like went down in my enjoyment as we went. We started with Beach Read. I gave that like a high 4 stars. Could probably be bumped up a little bit. I really loved Beach Read by Emily Henry. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey I really did enjoy, but again, it wasn't perfect. The music things kind of went over my head. Sorry, my hand is shaking a little, holding my phone. But it was still like a 3.5 star. Really enjoyed it. And then this I liked even less, and I'm settling on around a 3 star, I think. So that is kind of disappointing, but overall I am so glad that I fit in some more summer romances because I feel like I didn't read enough of those this summer. It's still beautiful, warm, sunny here, but the weather changes very fast, and already when I woke up this morning I needed to pull on a cozy sweater knowing I would finish this book today, so that kind of felt a little weird, I guess. I am very into like seasonal living. I cook seasonally, I do my makeup seasonally, I seem to read seasonally, and just like the activities that we do as a family and stuff. And I think that comes from, you know, I live in Nova Scotia. We have 4 long seasons, and now that we are coming into September, school starts this week. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but school starts in 2 days for the kids at the time I am filming this clip. And now I'm like, okay, it's fall routines, everything fall. Let's pick up some fall reads. But anyways, I'm over explaining myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Let me know if you want to see more themed reading vlogs similar to this. Maybe we could do dark romances or something, or fantasy romances maybe. I don't know. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.